I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be how to make her submit to you. How to make women submit to you, give you what you want, and most importantly, treat you the way you want to be treated. And it's always best to be treated and to make your life a drama-free zone. Meaning the only way you're going to be around and interact with women is when they're sweet to you and they're loving to you and they communicate with you in a mature way. Women who act like needy or emotional jackasses and get upset and yell and scream and carry on like fools, I don't have time for that bullshit in my life, and I don't put up with it. I don't date women that act like that. Now, when I was younger and inexperienced, I dated a lot of women that were that way, and knowing what I know now, it's a lot of times I trained them that way to treat me. I mean, a lot of reasons why they were acting that way was because of how I was showing up and not treating them. But even when I learned things, I realized that there's actually a lot of women out there that don't understand how to have healthy relationships. See, 10, 15 years ago, when I was learning this stuff and didn't really know what I was doing, I was making all kinds of mistakes and turning women off. And I just figured that the reason I wasn't getting the women that I wanted was, it was all something to do with me, that I was just totally the worst, most messed up person in the world. And in a lot of ways I was. But what I didn't realize is I just assumed all women were normal and healthy, and then I was the one who was totally fucked up. And then when I learned what I learned, I realized there's pretty much just as many women out there that are emotionally fucked up as men are. The only difference is that women tend to understand relationships and men better than men understand relationships and women. And so the purpose of this video newsletter is, how do you get a woman to submit to you? How do you get a woman to go along with what you want? Well, a big problem that a lot of guys do, and I was guilty of this myself, is that when we find a woman that we like, we want her to like us, so we tend to be really nice, because that's what they teach us in the movies and in TV, is to be super, super, super duper nice and bring chocolates and flowers and gifts and sit on her lawn and serenade her from her window when you're sitting on the lawn at night. And after you do this for 6 months or 6 years, she'll just go, I'm helplessly head over heels in love with this guy, and have to run off with you to the church to get married. At least that's what they show on TV. But obviously that's not the way it works in real life. And one of the things that I used to do when I was younger and less experienced is I acted like a butler. I was always at a woman's beck and call. When she called or she texted, I was, instantly right away responding right back to the text. Even if I had something I was doing at work, I dropped what I was doing. And I basically became uncentered, because in my mind I was coming from a place of fear. I was worried, if I don't respond to this right away, I may lose her. And since you're always coming from a place of fear of loss or a scarcity mindset, eventually you reveal this to her in your actions and the things you say, and you're basically communicating to her that I'm not worthy enough to be with you. I don't feel like I'm good enough to be with you. And over time, a woman starts to realize, you know what, you're right, you don't deserve me. So I've got an email here from one of my coaching clients who basically, before I started coaching him, had this gal that he was dating, and then after a few months, basically what had happened was she had a guy that she'd been friends with for like a decade, and apparently this guy had been waiting for like 8 or 10 years for her to become single again so he could get his shot. And then my client obviously comes along and hooks up with her before this guy finds out about her or whatever. So anyways, my client's dating her, he's sleeping with her, and this other guy's coming on to her at the same time because, apparently he's been good friends with her for a long time. And she's only known my client, apparently, for a few months at this point. And so to make a long story short, the other guy's applying pressure, and then my client's hearing this, and she basically one day says to him, she says that I can't take this anymore because he wants me and you want me, and I'm not sure where I'm able to be right now, and so I've decided that we're no longer going to sleep together until I figure out what I want. And he goes, okay. And he goes along with it. And so he basically trains her that, hey, this is okay, and I'm totally all right with just being friends now. So you can hang out with this other guy and decide how you feel about him. And that's basically what he communicated to her. So in a nutshell, she starts fooling around with this guy and sleeping with this other guy and hooking up with him. And my client does what I tell him to, which is start dating and sleeping with other women and tell this chick, hey, give me a call when it doesn't work out. Well, since he had trained her to basically be his male girlfriend, he basically trained her that he's going to be her male girlfriend and her butler. She's used to calling whenever she wants, and so now she's got her cake and she can eat it too. So she can have my client whenever she decides, if it doesn't work out with this other guy, hey, she's always got my client because he's always at her beck and call. And so she has no fear of loss of losing him, but so she goes out with this other guy and starts sleeping with this other guy. And eventually, my client puts his foot down and says, hey, I'm not going to go along with it. Well, she starts getting mad and pissed off and upset. And then one time when my client's calling her back, this other dude answers it, and he's real dick on the phone to her, and he's like, or him, or my client, and she doesn't know that this dude's picked up, her phone. And so my client's talking to her now boyfriend, and he's going, basically telling her, she's with me now, you're a loser, get lost, don't ever call her again. And he didn't say anything at the time, but it's like he basically was responding to her phone call. I said, you're basically getting yourself into a love triangle, and it's best, you got to stick to your guns, because if a woman can walk all over you and you go along with it, if you constantly compromise your principles and don't stand up for yourself, and she can walk all over you and can continually get away with it, she's not going to respect you. And if a woman doesn't respect you, there's absolutely no way she can feel sexual attraction or fall in love with you. That's just the way it is. Those are the bitter facts, my friends. And so basically, my client, he's getting laid all the time with these beautiful women that, he was married up until about a year and a half ago. He got divorced, and, so he's known all these beautiful women for years, and he was always unavailable because he was married. And now, since he knows how to interact with women, they're all revealing that they like him and they had hots for him. And so now he's going out with these women and sleeping with them, and they're coming over, and he's not even having to go out and take them on dates. They're just coming over and sleeping with them, or he's going over to their place. And I mean, it's a great way to be. It's a great lifestyle. But his ego is going, well, we always tend to want what we can't have. So I'm going to read this email to you. He says, been doing pretty well since the last time we chatted. Look forward to it again. However, as you know, I've got at least one, maybe two women that I spend time with who I knew I made mistakes with before I read your book. And so, as we discussed, trying to fix that is proving to be difficult. My question surrounds how to rebound from a mistake or a series of mistakes. Sometimes it's not as easy as it seems. In my case, I was dating, or thought I was dating, this one woman for a couple of weeks and kind of got the I'm not ready for this speech. As I said, this was before your book, and so I did the just hanging out and being friends. Since reading your book, it's been kind of a power struggle of sorts. We both got into the habit of dozens, if not more, texts per day, updates on what we were doing, etc. We also got in the habit of just meeting at a local place for drinks. You can probably see where this is going. As I continued to pull back, so to speak, it gets increasingly hostile. So basically what happens is, like, when he backs off or doesn't respond to her right away, she gets pissed off at him. The problem is he's going along with it. And so if your life is a drama-free zone and a chick's being a jackass to you, you simply say, I'd love to talk to you, but call me back when you're calm and you can talk to me in a sweet and loving voice and communicate like a mature adult, because I'm not going to get into this where you're nasty or you're shouting. I mean, I don't have time for it. I mean, the bottom line is you're sleeping with some other dude anyway. So if you got a problem or something you want to talk about or you need something to work through, call your boyfriend. Let him do this stuff. And he needs to stand his ground, which he's not been doing. Let's see here. He gets back a text, says, are you all right? What's wrong? And the answer is always the same. I'm fine. But the fact of the matter is I'm not really fine. I want to explain that this is a natural result of her not wanting a relationship. And I'm not going to be some on-call guy. Deep down, I know I shouldn't call her and say these kinds of things to her because it'd be weakness. But I'm a communication guy, and it feels like I'm not being honest. And so what I've done is simply answer questions that I feel are needed via text. Not immediately, but certainly not to be rude. Luckily, I have plenty going on in my life, and I can occupy my time accordingly. So basically, your problem is that you train this woman to treat you this way. You've basically, over the course of several months, you conditioned her to expect you to show up in a certain way, to act a certain way, and to respond in a certain way. And so what's happened since I started working with you and coaching you is you've basically flipped the script, and now you're busy, you're going out with other women, you're getting laid, you're having a good time. This chick's still with the other guy. And when she texts you, you always, when I say stand up for yourself, I mean stand up and stand for your truth. Your feelings are your truth, and if you want to have the sexual relationship with this girl that you once had, great. But she's with this other guy right now, and you need to maintain that. Go resolve it. And so when she texts you, hey, what are you doing? How are you? I would text back, are you coming over to seduce me tonight? Question mark. And then let her text back. You know, she'll probably say no, or no, I'm not, I'm with somebody else. Like, great. Well, when you know what I want, I'm not interested in a love triangle. I'm not interested in being your male girlfriend. I simply want you. I love being with you. I get excited when you text me. I like hearing from you. But you're with some other dude. And bottom line is I'm dating other women. I'm having a really good time. And I'm not interested in getting involved with a guy because I've called you returning a call in the past and your boyfriend answers that and he's a total jackass to me. My life is a drama-free zone. And so this is how you want to respond to her. That you just don't put up with this crap. And so when she texts you, it's, hey, you coming over to seduce me tonight? No? Okay, well, give me a call when you change your mind. And just leave it at that, and always leave it at that. And whenever she texts you, no matter when she texts you, that's the response you get. You know, and the mistakes you made in the past, like going and meeting up and doing the just friends thing, you know, meeting at a bar for a drink or meeting at her work for lunch to just hang out with her. If you want a woman to see you and treat you from a romantic perspective, then don't do things that friends do. Don't go to the movies with her and don't meet her out for lunch all the time. Your job as a man is to create a romantic opportunity, romantic fun-filled, mysterious opportunity for sex to happen. It's also, aka, the date, a date. So go out on a date, show her a good time, and make sure at the end of the evening, after you've gone to 2 or 3 different places, that you're either going to be at her place or your place, so obviously you can end up in the bedroom at the end of the night. And that's all you got to do. But you got to stick to your guns with this girl. And what's happening is, I can tell you're still texting her, and I know you like chatting with her, and so you keep going along with what she wants. And so the more you go along with what she wants and give her what she wants, which is basically she can continue sleeping with this other guy and still have you as the friend and the buddy, the male girlfriend that she likes. In other words, you're continuing to train her and teach her that this is okay to treat you this way. And so when you pull back, she gets a little bitchy and gets a little nasty. And if a woman ever gets bitchy or nasty with me, I don't talk to him, I don't respond to him, or I just say, give me a call when you're ready to talk to me and communicate like an adult. Because I don't put up with that shit anymore. I mean, years ago I had women in my life that were girlfriends like that, but you just got to cut your losses and cut them loose because you don't have time for that bullshit, especially when you got women blowing up your phone, wanting to come over and fuck your brains out with no strings attached. Don't worry about relationships or nothing. It's all you got to do, my friend. So if you find this message of value, you can show your appreciation by going down to the Wibia toolbar, which is at the bottom of your screen if you're watching this video on my website, and click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount you think is equal to the value of the information that you received in this video. At the very least, please share this page with all your friends and family by using one of the social network sharing buttons, which are also located on the Wibia toolbar at the bottom of your screen. If you have a question that you'd like to ask me, please summarize it in several paragraphs, explain your situation. Or if you got a topic you'd like me to cover in a future video newsletter, just click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of your screen and give me several days to get back to you with a detailed response. And if you'd like to book a paid phone coaching session with me personally, click the Products tab at the top of your screen and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.